Hi everyone, welcome to Life is Healing. I'm Lubaina, your host. I am a healing practitioner and I specialize in energy bodywork, shamanism, and astrology. Life is Healing is a podcast where I share my passion for healing. In the last 15 years, my journey has encompassed plant medicine, energy healing, astrology, and shamanism, which are all topics you will hear about. I'll share tips from various modalities and interviews of healing practitioners and stories from all over the world, and a fun astro update in every episode. Tune in and join me for this journey on Life is Healing. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Life is Healing with Lubaina. We will get started today by talking about the significant astrological and planetary happenings that are going on in the sky. And the most important one that's happening right now is Jupiter has shifted into the sign of Gemini. This is actually pretty significant because Jupiter has shifted from the sign of Taurus, earthy Taurus, with a real energy of groundedness and practicality and focusing on resources, which is what Jupiter was supporting for us all this time, into airy, fairy Gemini, which Jupiter actually likes the sign of Gemini, at least in my opinion. But it's a very different energy than Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter in Taurus is earthy and grounded, as I said. Jupiter in Gemini is more focused on communications, on expression. So we will see a shift globally, as well as depending on where Jupiter in Gemini falls in your planet, you can experience personal shifts as well around the areas of communication and expression. So Gemini rules the throat chakra, and Jupiter going into Gemini means that we get a boost of energy with all things having to do with the throat chakra, which is self-expression, which is speaking our truth, which can be tricky with Geminian energy because Gemini perceives truth to be multifaceted, right? And this Jupiter planetary shift has come right after we had the full moon in Sagittarius on May 23rd, which Sagittarius is also ruled by Jupiter. So there is definitely a Jupiterian quality, a Jupiterian vibe in the skies right now. And I will also say that the shift came and happened along with the moon with Venus in Gemini as well. So Venus and Jupiter are considered two of the most beneficial, happy planets in astrology. And when they come together, it's actually a really beautiful formation. So we're under the influence of Venus and Jupiter together right now in Gemini. So we have the advantage of using the expansion of Jupiter in Gemini, of the third chakra, of the self-expression, and the beauty and cooperation of Venus, right, in Gemini, supporting Jupiter in Gemini. So to take advantage of this, I would say this is a great time for communication. It's a time to say what's on your mind and to speak the truth, and perhaps also be able in your communications to look at the other person's version of truth, right? So Gemini does give us that quality of the truth being multifaceted, as in what we perceive to be the truth may not be what the other person is perceiving it to be. So we get to see everybody's point of view and have a healthy communication because Venus is supporting us in this aspect. So that's all for the astrological update for this episode. Stay tuned for more. All right, it's time for the healing segment of today's podcast. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about a very common pitfall that people fall into when they embark on any kind of healing journey. I'm going to talk about it from the perspective of a healing work practitioner, as well as somebody who's actually fallen into this pitfall. And this I consider to be a very, very, if not the most important thing that is involved in our ability to be able to heal. And that pitfall that we fall into is that when we go to a healer, when we go to a doctor, when we go to any kind of practitioner to ask for assistance, the mistake that we can make that really gets in our way is that we give over our power and responsibility over to the practitioner, and we expect them to do it for us. So if you do that, then you're actually going to get in your own way, in your own process of healing. Yes, of course, if you're going to somebody to ask for help, if you're going to a healer and you are asking for support, that's what we're here for. That's our work, and that's what we are here to do. And absolutely, we're here for support. However, I consider healing to be an innate process, an inner process, something that each and every single one of us has to go through on our own. So the mistake that people make is they think, okay, since I'm getting this session or this whatever work done by a healer, that means I will be healed, right? And that's enough. And yes, of course, I myself have had what I would consider miraculous experiences with healers, which is what propelled me into this path, right? However, I still had to do the work on my own. I still had to, once when I was aligned to the energy of healing that was coming into my life, I still had to look at what caused those imbalances in the first place. What caused the dis-ease within my physical body? What was going on within my emotional body? What were the mental patterns that created those blockages for me, that repeated the patterns over and over again? I had to be the one to go in and look at that. So if you ever go to a healer who says that you are not responsible for your healing, I would say run the other way. Because to me, taking that responsibility is also empowerment. It is what enables us to believe not just in our own innate ability to heal, but also to really connect to the source of healing, which is within every single one of us. And that source is spirit, God, universe. Take your pick of words. So that force that heals us all is within each and every single one of us. And in order for us to access that, we have to take responsibility for our own healing. So if you're in a situation where you're considering getting support or help from somebody, which we all need from time to time, then just be mindful that at the end of the day, you're the one in charge. You're the one who's responsible for your own healing, and that a good healer will do their best to remind you of exactly that. Okay, welcome back to Life is Healing with Lubaina. I'm your host, Lubaina, and now it's time for our guest segment. Today, as a guest, I have with me my friend Pavol Malenký, who is one of the most interesting people that I have encountered in my journeys of healing and spirituality. He is a white magician, the real deal, not the fake deal. And here's a little bit about his background. Pavol graduated from Comenius University in Bratislava in mathematics and physical education. He worked in reinsurance for 8 years and studied at an institute of actuaries in Oxford. He has been doing yoga and spiritual practices from the age of 15, and now has been working as a professional magician for the last 16 years.
Yes.
Pavol connects the scientific view of the world with spiritual practice, and he is also a musician. He writes music and meditations for motivation and a better understanding of our true nature and aim, which is spiritual. So, welcome, Pavol, to the show.
Thank you very much.
It's so nice to have you. And I would like to get started by maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you came to be a white magician, because it's not really a typical career path that one chooses.
I understand. So it was just developed step by step. As
Hmm.
you said, um, I just started with yoga, with meditation when I was 15,
Hmm.
and everything's go well. So I didn't thought that one day I will just do something else as I studied, like a mathematic or something like that. But for me, meditation and spiritual development was all the time more and more important. And in a certain point in my life, I already have a certain abilities and powers to help another people. And I
Hmm.
did it in my free time, but it was times come when I need to decide what I want more. If I want to help much more people, I need to do it professionally. Or I just need say no to many people, because I am busy man in reinsurance or in mathematics or whatever, and that's it. That's it. And for me, it was all the time important that I have a feeling that what I have been doing have a certain value also for another people. That's it. Also, another problem with the reinsurance business was that certain things I couldn't just promote when I was in that business. Okay, so really, my boss told me, please don't speak about meditation or spirituality with the clients. I couldn't do, I don't know, YouTube videos about spirituality and meditation. And this was also a reason that I told it, okay, I don't want to pretend that there is something secret in my life. Okay, I have too many abilities, too many knowledge. I want to go out with it. And that's why we have also a lot of information on our web pages. So even if somebody is not our clients, he or she can use our meditations or spiritual songs or information books. Okay, that and this information is helping people to be healthy, to not have a psychic problems, to get once more be happy in partnership, and that's it.
Okay. So before we go into how exactly you work with your clients, can you talk a little bit about what is white magic?
There are many definitions. Okay, so I don't think that my definition is the best or only one. I can only tell how I have been looking on that. Okay, so for me, white magic is a physic of the future. uh, let's say if you would go with the technology 300 years back with your iPhone and all your knowledge, that
Hmm.
probably people will burn you, because if you will show them, look, I can film you and show you, they
Right.
say, okay, it's a witch.
Mhm.
Let's burn her. That's it. Okay. But certain things are explainable only if you start to see world not only as a matter, okay, as a something solid, but as an energy, as a vibration. When you start taking account that we have a souls, and this body is only something that we use as a tools, that there is something like previous lives, that we are living in ocean of energies, of beings, that there are goals which have a big impact to our lives. And only with that you can explain and heal a lot of things. It doesn't matter if it is really healing, or if it is partnership, or if it is something else. So I think that in the future certain thing will be measurable, maybe like a Star Wars, that you can maybe measure, okay, this person have more energy or more abilities and another not. And I don't think that as a magician that somebody is born Yes, you can be born with a little bit more energy,
Hmm.
but it's training. So everybody has the muscles, but not everybody is a champion because not everybody is training so hard. And the
Hmm.
same is, in my opinion, also with the magic. Okay, so for me, is magic is a physic and psychology of the future. That's it.
So, when you say magic is the physics and psychology of the future, it sort of sounds like you're talking about it as a form of technology.
I understand. Maybe it is not only technology, but it is certain laws that exist, okay, and that are valid. Doesn't matter if we believe on it or not. Like gravitation, okay, you don't need to believe it, but it's there,
Right.
you know. And it's the same is if somebody is positive and had be positively thinking about certain thing, the things will come to this person, okay.
Hmm.
And if somebody is negative about something, then this negative is coming to him. That's it. So let's say, let's view it from point of view of physics. Did you heard something about a double split experiment?
Yes, I have heard about that.
So it's very good. It's very good to understand it. So as
Hmm.
long as you just as you are just doing this experiment, you just see that electrons behave like waves. But exact from the point when you start observe it, you have another end of the experiment. It don't behave as a waves, but as a balls, as a matter. So through our attention, because we are watching this, we are doing these waves to matter, to something solid. So you can explain it also like this. And this means that our attention is very important. And everybody in a certain way is a magician. In a way that if you are 100 times thinking in a certain way, like I will never ever be healed, I will never ever get a good partner, or I will never ever get a good job, then this will be your reality. And
I
opposite,
see.
if you 100 time in a day thinks, yes, I will manage it, I will get a good partner, I will do this or that, then you will manage it. And of course, this physics you can use for positive and negative things. Like a Hitler, he also have a
Right.
supporter. Okay, so it was also a certain group around Hitler that support him in order to give him certain subtle power, to have a certain um, impact on a people
Hmm.
and turn them into certain direction. So let's see, and you can use it for positive. So if there will be enough people that will think we are fed up with the wars. Let's stop it. Let's use these billions just for a peace. Because we use much more money for wars as we need that everybody will get enough food, everybody will have a shelter and house, and everybody get a free education. We're
Hmm.
using our much more money for wars as we need for that. So it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So let's say from mathematic point of view, if somebody from another planet will come, okay, and they will see, okay, there is so many hungry people, so many wars, and they will ask why, and people will say because we don't have enough money, and they will say, okay, we will go to another planet. Where you get this money? We will just say, yeah, but we print it ourselves. And they will say, okay, you are idiots.
Right.
That's,
Yes.
that's the point.
Yeah. I think I get what you're going after. It's basically like the way that people are thinking and the level of consciousness of people on the planet is what's influencing the way that we behave with each other and our social structures and so on. But if we change that at the level of consciousness, then we're going to be able to develop different sort of understanding of the laws of the universe, which is what you use in your practice, it seems like, and the laws of energy. So, and it's interesting that you talk about the double slit experiment because that's basically the observer effect, right? So,
Exactly.
okay. So, is white magic a path of spirituality and how can it help people?
Mhm. From my point of view, yes, but this is my point of view. Okay,
Mm.
so there can be a lot of people which will define white magic absolutely another. For me, yes. Why yes? Because positive thoughts are very important in white magic. To think positively about something. How you can think positively about something as long as you think that you are this body and mind.
Hmm.
It's possible only to a certain extent. Only when you start going deeper to be observer of your mind and of your body, and you will start to feel and know that you are not dead, that these are your tools, but you are soul, which are going from one life to another, then your feel will just cease. And it will be very easy to be positive, also in very heavy situations.
Hmm.
And this is something what you don't find in a lot of, let's say, positive way of books. They are just say, okay, be positive. But how? If you are dying, how you can be positive?
Mhm.
As long as you can feel that you are this soul, you can be positive even in the moment when you are dying. If you have nothing, if you are in prison, doesn't matter, because you will be happy when you are connected with your soul, and then you will be happy even in a prison, even you have been dying. And opposite, even if you will have everything, you will feel emptiness. You can be president, you will feel emptiness, because this feeling of be alive is coming from a connection to our soul. Is it white magic? For me, yes.
And how can white magic help people?
Mhm. So people just could understand that everybody is a magician. Okay, so that
Mm.
our attention and our feelings are very important. It means that which direction we have been, we are, what to what we put our attention. So in everybody, for us, in us, is devil and angel inside of us. Where are we are putting our attention? There are thoughts which are coming from fear. There are thoughts that are coming from love. What we have been choosing. And another thing, this understanding that if we collective harmonize and we start thinking and doing certain things, then we can change this world. As long as we are not connected, thinking that only I am positive, only I want to have a peace, nothing will change. But when people will connect and say, it's enough. We want to live in peace. We want that our money will be spread, our taxes will be spread really for us and not against us. Then these elites must follow. That's it. So it's very important to understand how much power do we have as a person and as a collective.
Okay. So, what does it typically look like when a client reaches out to you and asks for help using white magic? What's the typical process of that?
So typical process, I need certain basic information. Who is wanting what? I need photo, name, birthday. If there is some partner involved, then also with a partner. And then I am doing astral trip. In this astral trip, I am looking if I have enough powers and abilities to change the situation from my point of view. Okay, if yes, and what are the real reasons for a problem? Because mostly there are many reasons. It's like with health. Okay, it's not only because somebody have enough stress he starts to feel bad or have some illness, but it mostly there are several things like junk food, not enough water, too much coffee, not good sleep, the person is not doing any exercises, I don't know, and one is coming to another to another, and then suddenly it's a disease here. Okay, and it's the same also with another situation. So and then I am speaking once more with a client, okay, and saying what I saw in my astral trip. Okay,
Mm.
I'm telling you from my point of view what I see as a reasons. Certain reasons could be clear for that person, like problems in a childhood. Certain not like problems or bad karma from previous lives. Okay. And then I am telling how much it will cost. We are quite expensive. And then we can start work. And I am telling the clients that I need cooperation. It means that people are
Hmm.
just not only paying me and they are doing nothing, but because we need to touch the reasons. I need cooperation. Cooperation means that the person start with meditation, with some spiritual techniques, with some books, with some explanation, with changing slowly lifestyle. What does it mean is really very individually.
Hmm. That's very different from what most of the time people think of when they think
Yes.
magic, because they think magic is like, oh, we're gonna make something happen, and it's going to be like someone's going to do a spell and it's all going to change, like it's going to influence another person and change everything. And along those lines, people tend to sometimes be either skeptical or scared of magic, because their understanding is that someone's going to influence them with it. So what do you have to say about that side of magic?
So because I am doing white magic,
Mhm.
I am not influencing directly. Okay. So let's
Okay.
say black magic, it will be that I will not care about my clients. I will do some rituals that another person attract to another person. Okay. All that certain disease just disappear. The problem with such a deal is that something another negative will happen. Like, okay, the partner will come back, but he start to drink or cheating, or certain disease is healed, but there are no many money, and so on and so on. So
So
I'm
there's
doing in
consequences.
what?
So there's consequences.
There are consequences. There are all the time consequences with black magic. Okay, that's why I am not recommending to anyone. Okay, people are really playing game with something they are just not fully understand. I can tell you some stories about black magic influence that people at the beginning was very happy, and then it have really very bad end. Okay, but there are really very sad stories. Okay, um, and in white magic, because we are touching why think certain things have been happening to this person, there need to be inner change. And when there is inner change, I can do also some rituals to push uh, the person forward. Okay, but the person must be prepared to do one step further so that I can make a free step for them, and then once more one step and I can make a seven step for them. But they
Mhm.
must do certain direction. Okay,
I see.
that's it. That's it. So I'm doing rituals too, but it must be in appropriate time. So when church person change, then it makes sense to arrange some that people once more meet or they will contact each another. But
Mhm.
because the person is on another level of consciousness, he will deal with this person or with this problem in another level.
Hmm.
And this is the point.
So that actually brings us to a very interesting question, which is when you're doing these rituals and when you're helping somebody with white magic, how does magic exactly work? Because again, like, I think for the common person who has no sort of idea of what that could be like, how does it actually work? What is the principle behind it?
Mhm. So principle is energetic and information. Okay.
Hmm.
So everything what exists first as information, as energy,
Hmm.
like apple or cat. So first there is information how this cat is built
Hmm.
on and certain energy that cat or tree can exist. If there is not enough energy, then cat is dying. If there is some problem with in the information structure of this cat, then cat or this tree or person have a certain disease.
Hmm.
If you are able um, to give to this person or tree or cat enough energy and repair the information that is making this problem, then you can heal or repair certain problems.
Hmm.
It's easy explanation, but in order to do it, you need to have access to another realms,
Hmm.
and this is the problem. So let's say you can say that your third eye need to be open. okay, so that you
Mhm.
can go to another levels of seeing things from energetic point of view, from information point of view, and you must have enough energy and possibilities to make changes there. And this mean that person is healed, or the relationship start to work, or person instead of losing job is have a get a promotion or whatsoever. Okay, but if there is no inner change, then these things will be take of granted. It means when 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 persons start thinking in old way, like I am a poor guy, I will lose my job, and once more he's thinking enough long, enough intensive such a way, then once more he will lose the job or lose the relationship or lose the health. That's why this cooperation is important, because I can give certain direction to this person, but I am not taking his free will to choose between love and fear. And this is the point. What you are choosing? Where is your attention? What is your main feelings? That's it. It's very easy to say, but as you know from your daily practice, it's not so easy to do it. And the magician should be first not somebody who only read the books, but somebody who is working with himself. Okay, so if I can't work with my fears, how I can help somebody else? If I can't have a more energy as somebody else, how I can help him? That's it. That's it.
And that actually reminds me of something that you said in the beginning, which is that when you were choosing this path, you knew that you had certain powers and abilities to help people. And now, were those powers and abilities developed as a result of your practices, or was that something that you were born with? What is that like? And does everybody have that, or can it be cultivated for everybody? I know it's a lot
Everybody
of
has it.
questions, but
I
yeah.
was I wasn't born with that. Okay, so I was only born with a certain curiosity to certain things. Okay,
Mm.
so
Okay.
that's maybe a little bit another as with another boys or girls. So I was really curious about certain things, and just fascinating me. Okay, so all the time magic, yoga. I know when I first my first book about yoga. It was very just simple sentence. Doesn't matter what is happening, it's only what is matter how you have been reacting to it. To the same thing you can react in positive and negative way. It was just fascinating me. It's but how? And then I was just thinking, yes, if my math teacher is giving me note free, I will be totally unhappy because mostly I have one. But my best friend was really miserable in mathematics. So if he would get number free, he will be totally happy. So it's really not about what is happening, but from which perspective we have been looking on that.
Right.
It was simple sentence, but this sentence fascinated me in such way that I was no, yes, this is something that I will do all my life. But that I would do it professionally, I really didn't expect it. Okay, it was really everybody has it. Everybody, really everybody. But not everybody has this. Mm, let's say fearlessness to deal with it, because you need to cross over your fears. You need to question your own mind, your own thoughts. And once more, I am telling as a magician that something like my thought don't exist. There is no thought that is already somewhere prepared in the matrix. And this is something that I don't believe. I know it. And this is the way, even if somebody will believe me, it will not help him. But through certain techniques, you can feel it, you can watch it, you can deal with it. And then you are not believer, but you are somebody who knows.
Mhm. Yeah. I like what you're saying about how pretty much everybody has the ability to cultivate these ways of perceiving reality. And it all really depends on the person and where they're at. Like, you had a natural curiosity for it, other people have natural curiosity for other things, so
Exactly.
it seems like everyone has a unique way of expressing themselves, and yours happened to be this path. And I'm sure, just as a just from my own experience of walking a healing spiritual path, or walking a path where I've wanted to help people and so on. I can definitely relate that it's a lot of inner work that needs to be done, because that's the only way to be able to help others, is
Exactly.
when you're able to help and heal yourself. Then you become a vessel for other people to experience that.
Exactly. And what is important to understand, that fears are taking a lot of our energies. Even when you will work for 10 hours physically, very really heavy work, you will be not so much finished as after 1 hour of real stress. But most
Hmm.
of people are not 1 hour in stress, but 10 hours, 12 hours. They are even stressed when they have been sleeping. This is the main
Hmm.
problem why people have no energy, because all the time there's a fears and stress.
Hmm.
And of course, it's easy to say just think positive, but how? And
How?
that's why meditations, that's why certain books, because there is not simple explanation. Okay, I
Hmm.
develop certain techniques, like a matrix is telling me that, but it's very deep, profound technique. I can tell it to anybody, but once more, to work with it is not so simple.
What I can say is, from the time that I worked with you, like way back many years ago at this point, when I worked with you, I remember I was in a particularly dark place in my life at that point, and I remember like waking up one day and all of a sudden feeling this like rush of energy that came out of nowhere, pretty much. And I just like walked around that whole day feeling like all cheerful and happy, and very like exuberant. And I was like, this where's this coming from? Because it had been a very, very dark period for like more than 2 years. A lot of stuff had happened, and a lot of trauma had happened, but that kind of caught me by surprise. And then there was a period when it was like really up and really down, really up and really down. And then eventually it got to a point where it got more and more steady.
Exactly.
And then we didn't really need to work together as much anymore, and I was able to get back to what I was doing and find a different direction in terms of how to keep myself healthy energetically as well.
Yes, exactly. And this is the main point. When you are connected with your soul, you are just happy without any reason. There is no reason. Reason is that you are connected with your own soul. That's it. That's it. It's very simple. But this way to come there, it's not so simple. You need to really work. That's it. That's it. So we are living in a matrix, and matrix is giving us a lot of negativity,
Hmm.
and it is free of charge. If we do nothing, there will be enough, very much negativity inside of us. We need to do nothing. It's the same like um, brushing a teeth, uh, washing ourselves. Okay, so if you do nothing, you will stink. So you need to do every day something to wash yourself, but you need to do also something to clean your mind, to clean your feelings, to clean your energetic body, because we are bioenergetic beings. That's it. That's it.
Hmm. So let's talk a little bit about magic and healing. So, do you ever work with clients using magic for healing, and what does that look like?
Yes. We have been doing a lot of, but not directly, because in German there is very strong regulation concerning healing.
Hmm.
So mostly people are contacting us because of something else, and we are coming also to healing. Okay, let's say the person would like to have somebody back to his life, or there is a very bad time with the money. Okay, we are helping, and certain in a certain point, person is telling me, okay, but I don't have enough energy. Okay, I don't
Hmm.
feel very well. I am depressed, or I was in the doctor and the diagnosis is diabetes or cancer or whatever, and then we are starting with a healing. and our approach is mm, to use everything to heal. It means herbs, it means alternative medicine, it means modern medicine, and also meditation, positive way of thinking,
Hmm.
and so on and so on. So it's not only about the rituals. It's not only way how I have been thinking, but what I have been eating, what I have been drinking, uh, what I have do physically. I am sitting all the day, or I am doing also walks.
Hmm.
Um, I am in a stress all the day or not, and so on and so on. So every case is a little bit another, and as you know, also people are reacting or not reacting to certain things on another way. Like chlordioxin solution is for somebody great thing, for somebody else not that
Hmm.
thing. So I need to look what kind of alternative medicine is good for such person, from
Right.
where they react good, for where is, I don't know, books from Anthony William very well good solution, and maybe from somebody else it will be the using of baking soda and hydrogen peroxide or whatever. So it's
Hmm.
all the time combination of things. Okay, so combination, what person have been eating, how he have been drinking, is there enough um, room for physical education. Okay, somebody, if somebody have a cancer, of course he can't make karate or something like that, but is he doing enough walks outside? Okay,
Hmm.
how many stress under such pressure is that person? That is not, of course, very important rituals and meditation and dealing with the fears and so on and so on. So it's a lot of things. It's not only rituals, and
Hmm.
we do really everything.
Yeah, it sounds like a very holistic process.
Exactly. It's very holistic because, once more, nobody is ill because of one reason. Okay, so
Hmm.
nobody is ill only because he have too much stress in the work. Mostly it's a combination, like heavy metals or plastic in the body, and he need to detoxification, bad way of thinking, junk food. I don't know what, it can be so many things. Okay, and we need to really look what is the main problem,
Hmm.
and everybody is a little bit another. So let's say there are people that you need to uh, cool them down. They are just working like a mad for 12, 14, 16 hours in a day, and they think it's normal. It's not normal. And they are just lazy people that you need to kick them all the time and say, do this, do that. Did you make a meditation? Did you read the book? Did you start to do videos?
Wait,
Whatever.
who are you talking about? I have no
I
idea.
don't know. Just examples.
um, okay, so now, what are some of the common fears and myths surrounding magic that you hear from people? And what do you say to them when they express these fears or myths that are like, you know, concerns that they may have about like being
there
part
are
of,
I understand.
yeah.
There are a lot of fears, and I understand it, because especially in this field, there are so many people that are just taking money and doing nothing. They have no abilities. And of course, there are a lot of black magicians, and they will just not take your real money, but
Mhm.
they can just take your life energy. Okay. So I will just say some examples that I met. Okay, so
Okay.
I know also some black magicians, and once I have also a woman that
Hmm.
came to me, and she contacted one black magician because she was very happy, lot of everything going very well. She have a lot of money, but her son was very miserable. Really, he take drugs, do nothing in the school, and so on, so on. And she went to one black magician and told him that, okay, price doesn't matter. Okay, just make him good, that he will get, I don't know, some good state in the politics, enough money, and so on and so on.
Hmm.
And he tell, okay, I can do it, but you will not only paying with the money, but also with something else. And she told him, I don't care. As long as he is successful and healthy, I don't care. He said, okay, I will do it.
Mm.
And of course, he started to learn. He get a really good job, also in politics. He find a nice girl, and then start the problems because they could have only one child, and the child was very sick,
Hmm.
and nobody could heal that child. And then
Wow.
happiness gone. And he once more go to this black magician and told him, could you heal my grandson? And they told her, no, this is the price.
Wow. Scary.
We just take the life energy of this child, and nobody can will heal him.
Hmm.
And when the child died, you both, your son and you, will die too, and
Oh
you
my
can do
God.
nothing with it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So all the
Is that how
time,
black magic works?
yes,
By
it works. Of course,
Hmm.
it works. And real black magic is really very costly and very, very dangerous because it's about life energy.
I see. And what about these people who practice these black magic rituals? What about them? What happens to them as a result of practicing
You
something
know,
like this?
I can speak for them. Everybody have another stories, but
Mhm.
mostly on their path, they start to develop themselves, and they get certain abilities and just start misused that abilities for their profit.
I
And
see.
from a certain point, there is no way back. This is the point. So let's say if a normal person is doing something bad, he have a bad karma, and he can repay it a certain way.
Hmm.
But you can't repay black magic. So you can be born 10 times and that's it.
Seems like a very intense path.
Yes,
I'm sure people hearing this are going to be like, either that sounds crazy or they're going to get really scared hearing about something
they
like
should
this.
be they should be scary about it.
Well, what would you say is a form of protection against people like this?
Don't make stupid things. Don't be too egoistical. Okay, so if somebody will tell you just give me money, I will do it, don't believe him, because it's only taking money away from you, and this is very good case. Okay, so you will just lose money and that's it. But if it is a real black magician, then you will lose something much important. What is it? Depends. Okay.
Hmm. So that actually brings us to a question that I think you sort of touched on before, which is what's the role of your client when you do accept them as a client and now you're working with them and doing rituals for them or practices for them? What's their role in this process?
Mhm. So I just need their cooperation. That's it. Okay. So they don't need to believe me, but they just should follow certain instruction. It's the same when you go to doctor and you have a certain problem. He will give you certain antibiotics, and normal good doctor should also be able to tell you do this or not do this, like give up smoking, don't
Mhm.
drink, I don't know, take more vitamins, go do more physical education, whatever. Okay, with
Mhm.
white magic, it's the same. Okay, so I am just telling people what they should in order to develop spiritually, psychically, physically, mentally, financially. Doesn't matter. And if they follow the instruction, then it's very easy. Once more, I am not doing in a way that you must do it like that, but I am just explaining it. Like, look, it makes sense because of this and this. You can read this and this book because it's explained in that book in a certain deepness. When you go through it, we can speak once more about this topic, and we'll just go to another topic. Okay, that's it. So it's kind of cooperation, leading, coaching, but coaching once more, not that I'm just giving some stupid questions to somebody, but I am really giving some certain advice and explanations, okay, and giving further literature and information why this is important, and what person can do and what can't do. That's it.
So it sounds like an essential difference between black magic and white magic is that the person who is working with a magician has to take responsibility for themselves.
Yes, too. Let's say this is a very simple thing. So if that can distinguish black magician and white magician, but once more, it's my point of view how I see it. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, if you will ask some another white magician, maybe he will tell you or she will tell you something absolute else.
Okay, got it. Now,
Because another white magician could tell, okay, but I am giving herbs, then no need be any explanation, and that's it, and it
mhm,
works too, and it's
right.
fine. But how long these herbs will help? Where is the real problem? That's it.
Right, so getting to the root of things,
Exactly,
getting to the
exactly.
core
And
cause.
really, sometimes a root very very deep, very deep. It means, in a sense, how I see myself, how I am answering the questions, who I am, why I am here.
Mm,
It could not only go to the childhood but also to previous lives, you know. And once more, it could sound really crazy for somebody at the beginning, but as much as people are going deeper and deeper in meditation and spiritual practice, they will see certain things.
mm.
That's it.
Now, you said something about astral realms and traveling in the astral realms and doing an astral trip. Now, is that the same as what we experience when we sleep, or is it a different state?
It's a different in the sense that you are conscious.
Hmm.
Okay, so normally people are not conscious in the dream state or in a deep state uh, we have a dreaming state and deep, how to say it, not deep state of mind,
Like
deep
deep
sleep.
state of meditation
No,
or
deep sleep when we are not projecting something, and magician should be able to go to such realms but consciously, and for this you need extra energy, extra access, so it need to be trained. It's not so easy.
so it's sort of like opening up other dimensional portals basically.
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
that's it.
And to be able to do it safely.
Exactly.
Because I'm sure people attempt these kind of things, which makes me makes me ask, what would you say to somebody who wants to start practicing or wants to become a white magician? Like, how did it come about for you? It seemed like you had a very unique path. I mean, we can direct people if you. I know it's a very long story. We can direct people to your website so they can read more about your journey, about how you met your teacher and all that stuff. But what would
That
you
would
say
be
to
great.
somebody who's like, I want to be a white magician. I don't know where to start, and how does one go about this?
So just start with a regular reading of spiritual literature. I can recommend like a Sensei of Shambhala because it's free of charge and it is a lot of knowledge inside.
Okay.
And with everyday meditation. So our meditation is once more free of charge on a SoundCloud or in Spotify. We have a free meditation, very specific meditation. So first is for beginners. Okay. Another meditation is for relationships, not only with other people, but also with me as a soul. And third meditation is protection meditation, where is really very deep knowledge from where thoughts have been coming and how we can deal with it. These free meditations are very profound, very deep. There is a lot of knowledge only in this free meditation. I think that you will not find anything like that in all the world.
Okay. Amazing. We're gonna put links to this to what he's talking about in the
Uh,
podcast as well as wherever we post it on YouTube and so on. Now, one last question. How can magic help the state of the world today? And can it?
mhm. So once more, as long we start to understand that we are souls, that this is an artificial world where we have been living, and our aim is to be more positive, that we can contact each another, and wish and do something to make a better world, then this better world will change, must change. As long as we are mm, have been thinking that I am alone who want to have a peace, who have to live well, and I
Hmm.
can do nothing, as long as nothing will change. So if somebody really want to change this world to something positive, I would recommend web page creativesociety.com. Once more, we can put link there because I think it's really great project. It's have nothing to do with magic or spirituality, but it's really about how to organize ourselves so that there will be no war, that we can live for more than 1,000 years, and so that everybody will be well. So this is the simplest method.
Okay. Now, any last thoughts, any last advice, anything that we haven't covered that you want to say?
So important is not to believe your thoughts or our thoughts, but all the time ask, is this thought useful? Not, is this thought logic, or is this thought truth? Let's say somebody have a cancer, okay? So it will be truthful and logical thoughts like, I have a very bad disease and I will die in 1 year. But um is it useful for me to think like that? This is the point. And here I need to find how I can see this thing from positive way.
Hmm.
Like, it's like, I don't know, every day I am near to my health, or it doesn't matter how long I will live, but how many happy moments I will have, I will enjoy. This is the point. But it's not so easy. But this is the main point. Just understand that if something is logically, or if something is truth, it doesn't mean that it is useful, that it makes sense, that it is
Mhm.
in line with what I want to attract into my life.
Hmm. Okay. That's beautiful advice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I don't know who he is.
Thank you
I
very much too.
I really appreciate you coming and sharing your time on the podcast and talking about this very unique and interesting subject that there's not that much good information on. So
That's
we
true.
really we
That's true.
as in whoever's listening, we appreciate your time and effort. And let's just tell our audience what's the best way of getting in touch with you if they want to reach out.
Just write us on our email or fill the formula on our webpage. This is the simplest method, or you can put there also my mobile telephone, so everybody can just write me on my WhatsApp. That's it. Or
Okay.
message. Very
Okay.
simple.
And the best website is, can you just spell it out for us?
Yes, it's whitemagic point net.
Got it.
I will just check it
Okay.
because, yes, white hyphen magic hyphen help point net.
Okay.
That's our English web page. We have been now reworking our web pages to something more quicker, much nicer. But in the moment, we are just busy with the German and Slovak pages, so it will take a little bit time to change also English one.
Yeah.
But hopefully, one day it will be also there.
Sounds great. Well, we're going to direct people to your website. So it's www.white-magic-help.net. And we'll be providing links and everything so people can get in touch with you whenever they want.
Thank you very much. I
Okay.
wish you
Thank
all the
you
best.
so much
Thank you
for
too,
your time.
and bye bye.
Bye.